Okay, today we're going to continue with Module 3, Lesson 2. On Friday, we were working on an IXL skill with the distributive property, and it was a bit of a struggle. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through some of those examples from IXL. We're going to work through them together, and then I'm going to give you the rest of the work time to finish up your IXL from Friday. Okay, so you will need your online whiteboard or your whiteboard dry erase marker and dry eraser. I will give you the choice. We're following a different teaching style today, so you can choose to write along with me if you think that that's most helpful for you, or if you just want to watch what I'm doing, okay, so that you don't miss anything. It's up to you. So the first example we're going through is an addition one with the distributive property. And as you can see, this first part here is 5 plus 1. Or 5 times 1. So we know 5 times 1 is the same as 5 groups of 1, or 5 rows of 1. So what I need to do first is I need my 5 going up and down. Okay, that's the beginning of each of my 5 rows. Okay? Now each row needs 1. Well, as you can see, there's already 1 in each row. So I just get to leave it like that. That's 5 rows of 1. And then what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put a little line here, and I'm going to draw the next array, 5 times 5, right next to it so that we end up making one big array because I'm adding 5 rows of 1 to 5 rows of 5. So I need them to end up together. So this 5 times 5 is 5 rows of 5. So I'm going to do the beginning of my 5 rows right next to the dots so that they all line up, the dots I already made. And it doesn't matter if you do circles or squares or triangles, whatever you want to do. I just like doing the dots because it's a little bit faster. Now I need 5 in each row. The first one that I already drew counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each row has 5 in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So now what I want to do is I want to add the black array that I made to the blue array that I made. Over here on the other side of the equal sign, you see it says 5 groups of, or 5 times. Well, that's because I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So the part I need to figure out is here in the parentheses. What plus 5 tells me how many are in each row? Okay, so I'm going to look at just one row, and I have to figure out what plus 5 equals how many I have in the whole row. Well, I have 1 black dot, and I have 5 blue dots. So if I'm adding up the whole row, I'm adding up 1 plus 5. So you can see here, blank plus 5 is really 1 plus 5. Okay? So that tells me that there's 5 rows, and in each row there's 1 black plus 5 blue. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to the next one. You can erase your whiteboards. Okay, so now we have a subtraction example. I'm going to start it the same way. Okay, first I have 3 times 5, which is 3 rows of 5. So I'm going to make the start to each of my 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. I need 5 in each row. So this first dot I drew is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my 3 rows of 5. So I have 3 going down, 5 across. Now next, it says minus 3 times 1. So I need to get rid of 3 rows of 1. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cross out 3 rows, and I only have to cross out 1 in each row. So I crossed out 3 rows of 1. Now that's asking, or saying that equals 3 times 5 minus what? So we have to figure out what goes in that second blank. Well, there's 3 rows, and if we look at one row, we started with 5, and that's where this 5 comes from. And it's asking, how many did we take away? Well, we started with 5, and we took away 1. So we just did 5 minus 1. And 1 is what goes in the blank. Okay, so once you get that drawing made on your whiteboard, it really helps you be able to solve the problems a little bit easier when you can really see them. So let's go ahead and let's look at another example. This example is also a subtraction one, okay, but we'll see why it's just a little bit different. So we're going to start out the same way. 5 times 3. So I need 5 rows, or 5 going up and down, and I need 3 in each row. Okay, 5 rows of 3. So 5 going down, 3 across. This time it says I need to take away 5 times 2. So I'm going to take away 5, and I need to take away 2 in each row. So I'm going to have to cross out 2 of them. So I crossed out 5 rows of 2. And now what it's asking is 5 times what? Okay? So this picture equals or is the same as 5 times what? Well, how many is left in each row? Because there's 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in each row there's only 1 left. So that equals 5 rows of 1. Because when we take away the 5 rows of 2, there's only 5 rows of 1 left. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, this one is a little bit different because if you've noticed, the answer is here at the beginning, okay? So we have to kind of figure out the question. So we're going to draw our 5 rows of 5. So 5 going down and 5 across. I know I did that kind of fast, so I'll give you a second to catch up in case you're doing it with me. Okay, now it's saying 5 times what plus 5 times 3. We know the 5 times 3, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to just put a box around 5 groups of 3, right? There's 5 going down and 3 across. That's my 5 groups of 3, or my 5 rows of 3. So let's look at what's left then. Over here, it says we have 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we knew that already. But 5 rows of what? There's 1, 2. 2 in each row. So 5 rows of 2. So if you look at that all together, our answer was 5 rows of 5. And to make that, we had to have 5 rows of 2, which is in the pink, plus 5 rows of 3, which is in the blue. When you put them all together, you have a big array that's 5 rows of 5. Okay, go ahead and erase, and we've got one more example. Okay, this last example is kind of the same thing that we just did where we have the answer first, but this one is subtraction, so it's going to look a little bit different. So our answer is 4 times 1, so let's make 4 rows of 1. And that's pretty easy. We did the start to our 4 rows, and there's only 1 in each row, so 4 going down, 1 across. Now they're saying that equals 4 times 3 minus 4 times something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 times 3. But this black dot this time counts as my first one. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the reason why that first one counts this time is because we have to figure out what we started with because we already know the answer. Okay, so we started with what's in blue, and now it's asking, what did we take away? We took away 4 rows of something. Okay, and here's our 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. What did we have to take away to get to just the black dots? Well, if you look here, we had to take away all those blue dots to end up with just the black dots. Okay? So there's 4 rows. How many in each row? Well, here's 1 and 2. So if we started with 4 rows of 3, we took away 4 rows of 2, and that's how we ended up with 4 rows of 1, which is what we started with in black. Okay? Now, I know that's a lot, but I wanted you to see how to draw the array to help you solve that distributive property. So today, you're going to go back to your IXL. You're going to try to get at least over 80, but aim for 100. Okay? And you are going to have to be drawing out each problem to help you solve. Make sure you ask if you have any questions and begin. If you have already finished your IXL, for some reason you got it finished on Friday or finished it over the weekend, please just raise your hand and let me know so I can check and see if there's anything else I have for you to do.